For some reason, I'm a little bit upset about this. Now, most people would disagree with me, but I'll give you the reasons why this makes me upset. So, what came out today, at least on thatpartplace.com, is news that Disney slash Pixar's new long form series, Win or Lose, starts out by introducing a Christian themed character. The first time that they've even mentioned Christianity in the last 20 years. I have some issues with this, even though I am a Christian. You don't have to be. It's okay. I don't care either way. And when I say I don't care, what I really mean is that your choice is your choice. I have my faith. You can have yours or lack of. It doesn't matter to me whatsoever. We're all just people in the end, as long as it doesn't intrude on the kids. Disney introduces first Christian character in 20 years in Win or Lose streaming show while cutting the child gender politics storyline. Now, this was a story that I did on another channel where we were talking about even the people behind the scenes working on this show were like, no, we need to cut that out because they've been putting this into our kids' heads for years. Everyone is rebelling against it. Maybe we shouldn't put political messaging into our stuff, much less bringing sexuality to children. Nobody should be doing that. What they said at the time was, that should be a discussion between the parents and their kids. It shouldn't be forced on them from other forms of media. And I agreed with that. But in the same way that I agree with that, I also kind of feel weird about them putting Christian characters into something that's meant to hit the masses because it's not a Christian company, because it's not Christian themed. There just happens to be a Christian character. I feel like they're ringing a little cowbell. They're jingling little bells to the people who, don't like the debauchery that they've tried to put into their kids' lives, into our kids' lives. I am a father. I feel like they're trying to go completely opposite of that, turning a full 180 and instead going the complete opposite route. I I think this is kowtowing. I do not think that this is necessarily the right way to go about things. I honestly don't think that you need religion in order to explain morals to kids. Kids can understand morality once they're old enough to grasp it. That is the parents' decision, though. And it's up to parents to teach their kids morality. But I'm going to get off of that for a little bit. Let's go into this article. Now, the debut episode of Win or Lose, Pixar's latest Disney Plus series, which is another reason why, because of the failure of that gender confused one and that they had to cut out, why they're no longer doing long form series. Pixar's not doing it. Disney's not doing it. We reported on this yesterday with the Tiana thing. It has made waves by introducing Lori, the first openly Christian character in a Disney project in nearly 2 decades. The last was in 2007 with Bridge to Terabithia, which is actually based on a book. This show's approach appears to reflect a shift towards more traditional storytelling, avoiding the divisive narratives that have contributed to some of the Disney's recent box office failures. Traditional storytelling, traditional Disney didn't have themes of Christianity either. I hope everyone knows that. Christianity wasn't really put into any of that stuff. They didn't talk about their faith. You know what did talk about their faith? Stuff like J.R.R. Tolkien, stuff like C.S. Lewis, not people who wrote for Disney. What they had was family values and a character rooted in personal beliefs. You could say that about so many things. Oh, that's a cringe way. I mean, it's not their fault. This is just what they're titling this paragraph. Set in the world of Inside Out, Disney's highest grossing animated feature ever. Yes, it actually did. Didn't it hit 2 billion? It's like freaking crazy. Anyway, Win or Lose follows a middle school softball team, the Pickles, in the days leading up to their championship game, and each episode of the 8-part series was supposed to focus on a different team member's struggles and personal growth. Sounds admirable at first, until the other stuff that was leaked before any of this other stuff came out. Now, the premiere episode, Coach's Kid, centers on Lori, and that's the daughter of the team's coach. So basically, we have a Boy Scout, I guess, what do you call it even anymore? Is Little League even still a thing? The young co-ed baseball team. They wrestle with their feelings of insecurity about how they, handle different struggles as they grow up in life. What's going on socially, what's going on with their bodies, all kinds of stuff like that. It's definitely a very fertile ground for all kinds of imaginations of stories and plots. Now, Laurie's introduction makes it clear that her personal beliefs are an important part of her character. Introduced by saying the phrase Heavenly Father, and a cutout of an angel is displayed in her bedroom. So it's very blatant. This marks the first time, yeah, we talked about that. Many longtime Disney fans have noticed a lack of such characters in recent years. A lack of such characters, period, because let me rack my brain a little bit. Actually, I'll let you rack my brain in the comment section down below. Can you think, can you count on one hand how many times Christianity is really involved in some of in the bigger Disney productions? All the ones throughout the years, they were telling basically love, fantasy, adventure tales that all had morality to them. They weren't talking about like praying to the Father. Prince of Egypt, by the way, was DreamWorks and not Disney, so you can get out of here with that one. I just don't think it should be anywhere. I think we should, yes, maybe take those Judeo-Christian values, and I might even stick my own foot in my mouth. I probably already have already, but I think we should take those Judeo-Christian values, that morality that is given to us from our moral lawgiver, and employ them in telling stories, but we don't have to shove it in people's faces. That's one thing that really pisses me off about a lot of modern day evangelists, so to speak, is that they just shove it down your throat all the time. You will accept it. You can accept it anytime. You will accept it when you're ready, if you're ever ready, if you're even open to it. As long as we understand how to get along with each other, that's really what matters the most. Now, beyond Laurie's introduction, Win or Lose has also drawn attention for another reason: content adjustments. And this is one where an episode originally included a storyline addressing gender identity themes for one of the children on the team. Children don't have gender identity crises. May I say it again? Children do not have gender identity crises. That is the parents putting that on their children. That is the parents molding their children into what the parents want the child to be, because they're impressionable as hell at that age. That's absolutely despicable, disgusting, and the fact that they're even trying to put medicine, trying to put them on hormone blockers and change their appearance and all kinds of stuff at that young of age is absolutely detestable to me. I know probably most of you won't like this video at all. I'm totally okay with that, but I'm going to stand on my freaking soapbox and talk about this. The studio ultimately decided to streamline the script and remove the storyline. You didn't streamline the script. You just removed the part that is blatantly against families. The character in question remains part of the show, but certain dialogue and references were removed from launch. Now, the fact that they put this here kind of makes me think that this was going to be the one that was gender confused. Well, look between your legs, little one. Disney responded to the decision by stating, this is what I was said also from a video that I did on a past channel a while back. When it comes to animated content for a younger audience, we recognize that many parents would prefer to discuss certain subjects with their children on their own terms and timeline. Yes, many parents who actually pay attention to their children, who actually go to work and don't get government subsidized and actually take care of their kids and want to raise families, healthy-minded families. Yes, they want to parent their children in the way that they see fit. This statement suggests a growing awareness of audience concerns, particularly from families who have voiced frustration over Disney's recent push towards modern social political messaging in its projects. You remember Lightyear? No, nobody remembers Lightyear, because one of the main selling points, one of the main marketing ploys about it was that they had a lesbian kiss in there. They had two moms. Oh, we had to put that in there. Couldn't just be a story about Buzz freaking Lightyear, the coolest toy of the time in Toy Story. Couldn't be about that. No, it had to be pushing agenda. We also had those secret Skype calls. You know, those kind of things where they were just like, oh yeah, we're pushing diversity, gayness into everything we possibly can. I think those calls were actually leaked. It wasn't supposed to come out to the public, but they came out and they just solidified everyone was already speculating. This is what they've been trying to do. They've been trying to brainwash your kids. Don't let it happen. Be a parent. And also, just going back to my original statement, I don't think that means that they should horseshoe in Christianity. As much as I agree with it, it should be for everybody. Keep your Christianity not to yourself. Obviously, the Spirit will live through you in your actions, but you don't have to preach to people when you're trying to reach a broad audience. The Spirit will do that for you. Just teach good morals, just teach good things, building blocks of values on which to live by, and stop putting sexuality in fucking kids' shit. That's all I got to say about this. This is Malty I almost said the wrong word. This is Malty from Mouth of Malty, and y'all have a great day. Love you. Y'all take care. Peace be with you.